Pt2 News Geelong on this cold winter's Friday night. The Grass Tree Park Nature Reserve Management Plan continues to address key issues in the area of flora values on the Surf Coast Shire, as Ian Nichols reports.
This is coastal tea tree. It's actually a native to Australia, but not this part of the world. In fact, it's from Western Australia, and it's taking over Grass Tree Park here in Torquay on the Surf Coast. Grass Tree Park has a lovely heathland, and as a result of that, a little burning off has been taking place lately right here on the Surf Coast Highway so that we can get the balance right again. And we're talking with the acting mayor of the Surf Coast Shire, Libby Coker.
Tea Tree Park is beautiful. Grass Tree Park is at the entrance to Torquay, and it does contain some very special native and Indigenous plants. What we're doing, we're working with the CFA to do a burn-off. The burn-off is removing the non-Indigenous trees on the site, and what we're hoping to see is the regrowth of the beautiful native tea trees, grass trees, which a lot of people would know are beautiful to this area, quite beautiful.
And of course it's a bit of a heathland as well, isn't it? So during the spring it takes on a lovely feel.
Yes, look at beautiful wildflowers everywhere, magnificent setting, and it is special. It's at the gateway. It's a place that the public can go and walk through and enjoy. It is part within our budget over the next 12 months. We're actually aiming to boost our fire risk team. We're having a new crew in place once our budget goes through, and that crew will actually work throughout our shire to manage our risk of fire in terms of fuel load even better. Roadside vegetation, although we have to ensure that we protect remnant vegetation, so that's always a challenge. Also in some of our coastal communities, in places such as Lorne, we have a real challenge with ensuring that fuel load is well reduced in the lead up to summer. So with this team, this new crew, we can now go out ourselves and actually implement some works and help the residents and non-residential homeowners to work with them to make sure their properties are ready and have the lowest risk.
At Grass Tree Park on the Surf Coast Highway, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
Thank you, Ian. The Timor-Leste-Vikeki health system relies heavily on the Red Cross for provision of services and the important element of education. In communities, people let animals go anywhere, and often there is a lot of rubbish everywhere. There are no toilets. A lot of people around Vikeki get sick because of this, but they just don't know what to do to prevent it. Remote villages also have to travel a long way to get to health services. Red Cross volunteers in groups of about 15 travel to communities each week, talking to people about ways to keep healthy. Change is occurring with people cleaning their homes and the areas around them. The view is that the health education processes are being understood and implemented. But Timor-Leste Red Cross community-based first aid programs teach people more than vital medical response skills. They also tackle long-term health issues facing remote communities about disease prevention. It's about health promotion and social mobilisation, prevention of diseases, making sure people wash their hands before they eat, covering food from flies and getting rid of stagnant water where mozzies can breed, to name a few. This is all fundamental in the Timor-Leste context because of poor access to healthy services, and it is essential to focus on prevention. The development of Red Cross health teams are a key strategy for Timor-Leste, developing the skills of community-based volunteers who are trained and work in the communities where they live. It offers the people of Timor-Leste a hope for the future. Surf Coast Shire will appeal a VCAT decision to quash a special charge scheme in relation to footpath construction in Jan Juk. Ian Nichols reports.
Well, this is Jan Juk on the Surf Coast. As you can see, there are no footpaths here, just a sort of a strip. Quite attractive actually, and that's the way that the locals would like to keep it. A long-running saga over 18 months about a charge for building a footpath in this part of the world. The matter has now gone before VCAT. It's becoming quite a legal battle between VCAT and the Surf Coast Shire Council. We're talking with their Chief Executive Officer, Mark Davies. Mark, this saga with the footpaths in Jan Juc has been going on for a very long time, hasn't it?
Yes, it has, probably about 18 months. So we've been through a number of processes, and Council decided now that it wants to challenge the VCAT decision in the Supreme Court.
Now, the decision is to quash the appeal that you launched some time ago.
Yes, when VCAT heard the appeal from the residents, our legal advice is that there was an error at law. In fact, they couldn't actually set aside the scheme. They're only able to vary the scheme.
So what is the council's position, so we can sort of clarify that on footpaths generally there?
Well, sure. Look, the council still haven't made a decision about the scheme. So this decision by council is really to address this error at law by VCAT, because this will have ramifications for the whole of local government in Victoria, because all local governments use special charge schemes to fund infrastructure like footpaths and roads where there's a special benefit.
So you're frightened that there could be a precedent set, in other words?
Yes, that's correct. As I said, many local governments use special charge schemes to fund infrastructure, and if this decision was allowed to set a precedent, it might restrict the ability of local governments in the future to have special charge schemes.
So when do you expect we'll get an answer on this?
Well, at this stage we're expecting about a 3-month wait, and our legal advice is that the Supreme Court will then hear the appeal, and all going well, would then instruct VCAT to review their decision again.
So going to the Supreme Court obviously does mean extra cost factors involved in this dispute.
Look, normally that would be the case, but our lawyers have capped our costs at $5,000 because they feel so strongly about their decision. These lawyers work in local government predominantly, and they feel that it's very important that this decision be put right at the Supreme Court.
Well, let's hope we do get a resolution, making most people happy at the end of the day.
Thank you.
On the sidewalk, but not the footpath, here in Jan Juc, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong.
Thank you, Ian. This is News Geelong, Friday edition, as we go to a break and return with more news and the world of Geelong sport and weather after this.